How is you, capital letters, ooh, are you yelling at me? Being rude and insulting someone else and their opinion being helpful to any, yelling at me again, situation. Oh, you know what? I'm thirsty. Is it okay if I get a little cup of water here? I'm in Sicily, so it's all bottled water here, peeps. Yeah. Well, that's not true, actually. If I was in a flat that had a filtration system, I could use that, but I'm not, so it's bottled water. Anywho, I'm not trying to bash you, but do you know when you write the word but, you've just negated what you just said, so you are trying to bash me? Did you know that then? Yeah, okay, probably not. Okay, oh, I'm snarky sparky. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm not trying to bash you, but if you're making a video that appears to solely snap back at someone who you yourself felt was snarky with you, a productive or right way to go about it. Honestly, it's just a question. If it was just a question, you wouldn't say honestly. That's one of those things. We call it a tell. When someone's lying, they go honestly. Or when it's a touchy subject. Anyway, I'm a little snarky sparky and you're about to be the recipient of it. Because, oh, I slurped. I'm so sorry. I hate when people make noise when they eat. I'm one of those people that's really sensitive to that. I asked you in the comment section, and a few other people asked you, where was it that I was snarky? Where was it that I was abrasive or rude and insulting? Because I don't do rude and insulting. I definitely do snarky sparky, 100%. The majority of what I do is about being constructive. And so now let me explain to you why I answer people like you or comments like yours. I don't know anything about you, so I'll say comments like yours so that you don't think I'm insulting you. When you survive narcissistic abuse at the hands, for lack of a better way of putting it, because most of it is emotional violence, of a parent, and you grow up underneath that type of a parent, you miss some very important developmental markers. You suffer from arrested development. You don't learn how to stand up for yourself. You don't learn that you're allowed to stand up for yourself. You don't learn how to have a voice. And if you do in any way share how you're feeling about something and the narcissistic parent perceives that as being emotional in any way, or being something where you're complaining about something they did, like they hurt you, whatever, anything that looks distasteful to the narcissistic parent or like a loss of control, the first place that they go to is to tell you things like, you're rude, you're disrespectful, you're just an angry person. That's their first place that they go to. And so what you learn as a child growing up underneath that is that sharing your feelings is basically synonymous with being a bad person. The other thing that you learn is that anger is bad and that anger is an action, because of the rage that these types of parents often show towards their children in a number of ways. And because when their child tries to speak up and share their feelings, they're being called angry, like it's an action and a bad thing rather than just a feeling. So what happens? We hit adulthood. And now we are, by and large, people pleasers. Go along to get along. Not sharing our feelings. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want to be criticized. We don't want to be judged. We don't want to be hurt. And more than anything else, we do not want to be abandoned. So we do what we've always done. We abandon ourselves, thinking that we still have to. That's our conditioning. And then somewhere along the way, for those of us who seek out therapy in particular, we start to learn that it's okay to share your feelings. And if somebody else doesn't receive that well, providing, it's respectful to some degree, because you don't tell somebody that they're, an effing a-hole and expect them to receive you well. However, if somebody doesn't receive your feelings well, when something's going sideways, or your wants, your needs, whatever it is, that's about them and not about you. Unfortunately, in the beginning of learning this, a lot of us struggle with how to regulate our voice and our feelings because we didn't get to do it naturally growing up in a safe environment. So we tend to react a little bit bigger than maybe the situation calls for because we haven't developed that regulation. We just haven't. And then eventually, as time goes on and you learn how to be a better communicator and you learn that if someone isn't hearing you or understanding you, that's a them problem, not a you problem. We can respect boundaries and feelings without ever actually understanding where the other person comes from. We can do that. It's really not that difficult to do. It would be nice to be heard and understood, but I'll take being respected as good enough. All this to be said, that leads us into a place where we become more constructive communicators and we start to learn the art of communication. And so see how I'm no longer snarky sparky with you? I'm using the art of communication right now. And what I'm trying to communicate to you is that the reason that I address these types of videos that you found rude and insulting, hey, I'd love to see the receipts on that. And if I was, I'm okay with that because this is my channel. I own it. I work really hard, long hours to create content. I'm here helping people because of what I went through. And if sometimes somebody comes at me and I meet their match their energy, which I rarely do because I don't like people hijacking who I am. I am also snarky sparky. That's part of who I am. I own my anger. I love my anger. I'm proud of all of my emotions. I'm at one with them. I'm not ashamed of them. They are all a part of the beautiful me. Just so that we're clear. Was that snarky sparky? Maybe that was just sparky. Anywho, the reason that I address comments like yours, and you're not going to make everybody happy all the time. Sometimes like you don't like how I communicated, is because I want people to know that they have a right to stand up for themselves. And I want them to maybe find some of the words, even in my content, in how to creatively respond instead of reacting. That's why I take the time for comments like these. It isn't about you, the commenter, Julie Sanders. It's about all the other people out there who are genuinely looking for ways to grow and heal and come into their own. So thank you for the comment. And again, if you would like to, you can clip the time and put, at this point in the video, you were insulting and rude. I would love to see it because if it's in there, I'll own it. I don't know that I'll apologize for it because typically, like here we are right now, I stand by the things that I say. I stand by the things that I do. And if I feel that I agree with you, I will take accountability. Not that I have to be accountable to you. It's more because I'm just a person who takes accountability. All right. Thanks for being here. And I am going to, in the comments, in the description of this video, include a link to the video where you left this comment, just because if anyone else out there would like to point it out to me or can see, where I was being insulting and rude, since, you're not letting me know where that was. Okay, maybe you will. Ciao. Oh, no, sorry, that's hello. I'm in Italy. Did I mention that? Arrivederci.